Howdy and welcome to the Mr. Maple Show. Today we're bringing you a walkthrough of the South Carolina Botanical Garden. We're down here on location in Clemson, South Carolina to show you a really cool collection of plants, all different types of things. And I already saw some maples in the parking lot showing some fall color. Get excited. If you like this type of content, make sure you're subscribed here on the Mr. Maple Show on YouTube. And also make sure you're subscribed to our weekly podcast, the Mr. Maple Show podcast, on your favorite podcast platform. And guys, if you haven't ever been to the South Carolina Botanical Garden, you need to come down here and see this amazing collection of plants they have down here. Y'all, get ready. Let's get on inside and see the gardens. Even before we actually start walking down the trail from the front entrance, I saw this Pinestrobus angel falls sitting out here in the garden. It's got that heavily cascading habit for a native white pine. And it's really unique because it spreads out and then cascades downward, giving a very unique evergreen interest. You know, just seeing the specimen as the very forefront of the Arboretum before I even get in there, it's really exciting because it's probably been 6-7 years since I've actually been through this Arboretum. Matt and I we've even given talks down here at the South Carolina Botanical Garden. We've done some work with the continuing education here at Clemson University. But it's been a while since before COVID, that we are actually in this garden. So it's fun to actually start to get in and see some of these cool plants like this beautiful Pinestrobus angel falls. It's really neat getting to see all these hydrangeas tucked away in here. I see some Cryptomeria japonicas. I even see some Podocarpus in here. So there's a lot of cool plants all the way around this Arboretum. So I'm already seeing some awesome plants as I'm coming down through here. Everywhere I turn, I see cool woody ornamentals. A large Podocarpus back here, but back here, guys, I'm seeing a giant emerald lace Japanese maple. Let's go check it out. Emerald lace is a lace leaf selection that was found by David Sabo in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was eventually propagated and introduced to the nursery trade by dela. I love it because it has a leaf-like cereus, but a low spreading habit. So instead of cereus that grows upwards, you've got that similar to leaf, but a low spreading habit. It's extremely heat tolerant, it's vigorous, and to me, it's one of the most amazing and easy to grow green weeping lace leaf Japanese maples. We're seeing a little bit of tinge of red coming in on emerald lace right now. I'd venture to say in about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even a week, because we're starting to get some cold weather right now, this thing is going to be lighting up in fall color. I see lots of criniums around here, some really nice elephant ears. Oh my goodness, there's some amazing plants everywhere. I'm seeing ferns, gingers. Everywhere I'm turning around, I'm seeing all different types of cool plants that are using the landscape everywhere. And right here, it's another Japanese maple. Y'all, right here is Acer Pomatum Kasagiyama. This is an upright reticulated Japanese maple with some dark red reticulation in the early spring, going to a cream later on. It's fairly heat tolerant. It has a strong upright form to it. It's easy for many people to grow. Many people don't realize it, but most of the Go series came from one of two plants, Akashatsusawa and Kasagiyama. They were seedlings found from varieties just like this. And Kasagiyama, many of them came from Kasagiyama themselves. It's an amazing tree. Gives you some good red fall colors as well. And we're starting to see those red fall colors starting to come in. But y'all, as I'm looking right over here, I see another maple and even more fall color. Guys, it's not labeled, but I think what I'm looking at here is Acer Pomatum. This is a rare tree from China. It has some phenomenal fall colors. The leaf is pretty awesome. It looks very much like a palmate tree, but it's a little more drought tolerant. It gives you this fire engine red fall color. So cool to see this out here in the landscape. You know, it's not an Acer Pomatum, that I'm for sure. My best guess, Acer Pomatum. And if it's a Pomatum, at some point it likely probably came from MrMaple, because we've been producing this tree for a number of years and making this tree available. And so really cool to see this out here. Right down below that Pomatum, we've got an Acer Pomatum Rayusin down here at the corner. Rayusin has that strong cascading habit, and this one's been allowed to just sort of spread out, hasn't been staked up. And that gives it a very unique shape. As you see, it's just sort of spreading outwards. Rayusin is extremely heat tolerant, it's fairly vigorous. It's a selection by Kobayashi Momiji in Japan, some of our good friends. They introduced Tomukiyama 28 generations before. Really cool getting to see all these different Japanese maples. Everywhere I turn, I see another cool plant I love. I mean, this place is awesome. I'm seeing a red lace leaf down here. I'll have to check and see what that is here in a minute. But the tree that's drawing my interest is this Japanese maple right here. The yellow that grabbed my attention was this large Acer Pomatum Orange Dream. I saw that sort of lime green color popping through, and you're starting to see a little bit of fall colors just starting on the tips here. You know, we've got some 30-degree weather earlier this morning up in the mountains of North Carolina. I'm assuming down here, about an hour and 15 minutes south of us, they also got some cooler weather this morning. And you're really starting to see some of the fall colors come into many of these trees. Orange Dream is a classic. It's a selection by Ghirardelli Nursery in Italy. And when you're growing this tree, you want to do exactly what they've done here. Tuck it in somewhere where it gets some morning sun to really brighten up the colors, but some protection from that hot afternoon sun will really do this tree quite a bit of justice. If you can push it in a little bit of sunlight, you start to get some of this yellow bleached out effect that's really unique for Orange Dream, and it really shows out well in the garden. Come on down here and check out this Anab Shadari. Anab Shadari is such a classic Japanese maple. It greens up a little bit during the summer, but the fall color is really known for having a good fall color, good growth rate. But there's something that's really special about this tree that I want to show you. It's a low graft, but at some point, this was grafted to a pine bark Japanese maple. So if you get in here and look, you can actually see this specimen is actually grafted onto a pine bark, which is really cool where you see that pine bark feature. Really interesting. You always wonder what would happen if a rootstock shoot came out from underneath there and you grafted it, what unique characteristics that might actually have. It's always fun because you never know what you have on many Japanese maples till you grow them out. And when they grafted this, they probably didn't even realize it was a pine bark. And now you can see the distinctive difference between the rootstock and the tree itself. But it's a beautiful Anab Shadari here in the gardens as well. Guys, I'm really excited about what I'm seeing right here. I'm seeing a Storia monadelpha. This is the orange bark Storia. And you see this really nice flaking bark you see here on this tree. And it's really starting to, just about to start going to fall color. I fell in love with Storias when I'd go visit arboretums just like this one. And I'd be looking for Japanese maples and I'd see fall color and I'd get excited, think it was a Japanese maple, and I'd walk up and it'd be a Storia. And then I started saying, what is this plant that has bark almost like a paper bark, that has fall color like a Japanese maple, and blooms like a camellia in the early spring? I mean, an amazing trifecta plant to plant in the garden. Storia monadelpha isn't used enough. One thing with Storia is you want to make sure that you plant them with good drainage. That's essential. They often like to be planted on hills. As you see here, this one has a hill, a lot of good drainage. But also sometimes it's good to plant with some organic matter whenever you're getting this tree established into the landscape. Awesome. One of my favorite plants. The Storias are amazing. And here we've got this beautiful orange bark Storia. Can y'all see this tree back here? See the fall color just starting? That's Storia pseudochamilia. So we saw the Storia monadelpha earlier. This is the Japanese Storia. And I'm telling you, this tree is simply amazing. You get the silvers, the bronzes, and this really nice cinnamon flaking bark that is out of this world. You get fall color that's outstanding, and you get those camellia-like blooms. The Storias are a next level plant. You got to find the right spot in the garden for them, but they're some of my favorite trees in the garden. You know, seeing this makes me think about going through Nico National Park and seeing these Storia pseudochamiליas just growing naturally in the wild there. I mean, this is an amazing tree. More people need to be growing. And I see some Kusa dogwoods over here. I see a beautiful Japanese maple, likely just an Acer Pomatum variety, straight species through here. And there's some just beautiful trees in fall color. I mean, this garden is just so fun to enjoy in the fall. So there's so many flowering trees like this Pieris and so many flowering shrubs around this garden that lead you down this pathway. And I love when gardens do this. They lead you down a pathway just to keep walking and enjoying the garden itself. Y'all check out this Acer Pomatum dissectum waterfall. This cultivar is also known as Verdis, and they've got two of them here flanking one of the entrances here where you really can go down and see a great view of the garden. Y'all, this has that nice cascading habit. It's a classic, many of y'all know, many of y'all have this in the garden, but I couldn't help but get this tree on camera today because you're starting to see that fall color come in with the yellows infused with oranges. This is such an amazing weeping tree, and one that fits in a lot of spaces. As you see here, this is just used as a heavy decoration out here in the parking lot here at the South Carolina Botanical Garden. Y'all, thank y'all so much for jumping in today's video. We've got so many cool trees here in the gardens. I mean, everywhere I look, I see something really fun and exciting. To me, there's some next level plants here. If any of y'all haven't ever been here before, you need to come by and check out the South Carolina Botanical Garden. It really is next level, and you can actually become a member on the South Carolina Botanical website to help support them. And that's something they really need because they can help curate this garden and get more interesting trees out here for people to see out in the landscape and garden, get some cool ideas of what they can grow in their gardens in this Clemson area. Y'all, thank y'all for jumping in today's video. If you like this type of content, make sure you're subscribed here on the Mr. Maple Show. Make sure you follow our podcast, the Mr. Maple Show, on your favorite podcast platform. And remember always, you can shop with us on MrMaple.com. Take care, God bless, and have a great day.